Module 3, Creating Reports. Creating Tables and Charts. Creating tables and charts is a fundamental step in building visualizations in Power BI to represent data in a meaningful and insightful way. Here's an overview of how to create tables and charts in Power BI. Creating tables. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, users can create tables by selecting the table visualization from the visualization pane and dragging and dropping it onto the canvas. Users can then drag and drop fields from their data model onto the table to define the rows, columns, and values in the table. Users can also format the table, customize the fonts, colors, and other visual properties, and apply conditional formatting based on data values or other criteria. Power BI Service. In Power BI Service, users can create tables by adding a table visualization to a report page. Users can then select fields from their data model and drag and drop them onto the table to define the rows, columns, and values in the table. Users can also format the table, customize visual properties, and apply conditional formatting similar to Power BI Desktop. Applying filters and slicers. Applying filters and slicers is a powerful way to interact with data in Power BI, allowing users to dynamically refine and explore their data to gain insights. Here's an overview of how to apply filters and slicers in Power BI. Applying filters. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, users can apply filters to visualizations by selecting the visualization and then using the Filters pane to define filter conditions based on the fields in the data model. Users can apply filters to individual visualizations or to the entire page. Filters can be applied based on various criteria, such as equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, contains, starts with, and many more. Users can also apply multiple filters to a visualization to create complex filter conditions. Power BI Service. In Power BI Service, users can apply filters to visualizations in a similar way as in Power BI Desktop. Users can select the visualization and then use the Filters pane to define filter conditions based on the fields in the data model. Users can apply filters to individual visualizations or to the entire page, and can apply multiple filters to a visualization. Applying slicers. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, users can create slicers by selecting the slicer visualization from the visualization pane and dragging and dropping it onto the canvas. Users can then select the field from the data model that they want to use as a slicer, and Power BI Desktop automatically creates a slicer with options based on the distinct values in that field. Users can interact with the slicer to filter the data displayed in other visualizations on the same page. Power BI Service. In Power BI Service, users can create slicers in a similar way as in Power BI Desktop. Users can add a slicer visualization to a report page, select the field from the data model to use as a slicer, and Power BI Service automatically creates a slicer with options based on the distinct values in that field. Users can interact with the slicer to filter the data displayed in other visualizations on the same page. Both filters and slicers in Power BI provide interactive ways to explore and refine data. They allow users to dynamically slice and dice data based on different criteria, such as time periods, categories, or other dimensions, to gain insights and analyze data from different perspectives. Filters and slicers are powerful tools for data analysis and exploration in Power BI, empowering users to interact with data and uncover meaningful insights. Creating calculated columns and measures. Creating calculated columns and measures in Power BI is an essential part of data modeling and analysis, allowing users to derive new insights and perform calculations on their data. Here's an overview of how to create calculated columns and measures in Power BI. Creating calculated columns. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, users can create calculated columns in the data view by selecting the table in the Fields pane and then clicking on the New Column button in the Modeling tab. Users can then use the Power Query Formula Language, M, or the Data Analysis Expressions, DAX, language to define the calculation for the new column. Calculated columns are computed for each row in the table and can be used in visualizations like any other column. Creating measures. Power BI Desktop. In Power BI Desktop, users can create measures in the data view by selecting the table in the Fields pane and then clicking on the New Measure button in the Modeling tab. Users can then use the DAX language to define the calculation for the new measure. Measures are used to compute values based on the context of the visualization and can be used in visualizations to display aggregated or computed values. Power BI Service. In Power BI Service, users can create measures in a similar way as in Power BI Desktop. Users can select the table in the Fields pane, click on the ellipsis next to the table name, and then click on New Measure. Users can then use the DAX language to define the calculation for the new measure. Both calculated columns and measures in Power BI provide powerful capabilities for data modeling and analysis. Users can perform various calculations, such as mathematical operations, aggregations, conditional logic, and date calculations, to derive new insights and analyze data in a meaningful way. Calculated columns and measures allow users to extend the capabilities of their data model and create custom calculations tailored to their specific needs, supporting advanced data analysis and visualization in Power BI. Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.